This video was made possible by the EA Creator Network. Huge shout out to EA for letting me capture this content early. Football is back! So we're gonna do the first 32-team Imperialism tournament in Madden 26 to determine the best team in football. Here's the map, and the first team competing is the New York Giants. The way this works is we use the team wheel to determine who is attacking. Then we spin the arrow to determine who gets attacked. So now we have the Giants attacking the Jets, and the loser is eliminated. Let's get into it. All right, we have a good one in our first game. The Giants down by 7. They're driving with the ball. What will Russell Wilson do? He's going to step up, throw across the middle. Make sure at this point to leave down in the comments below who you think is going to win. Here we go. Wilson, they're going to fake the handoff. Across the middle, he's going to throw it down to their final timeout. Here we go. Wilson steps back. Across the middle, he's just taking his checkdowns. This is not going to go well. If they're just going to sit here and nickel and dime their way down the field, they have to score a touchdown just to send the game to overtime. 2nd and 1. Just about a minute to go. Wilson sits back. Gonna sling it across the middle. There we go. Inside the 30. Here we go. Wilson slings it out. Not going to get a first down and not going to get out of bounds. New York calls their final timeout. Empty backfield. Wilson going to sling it across the middle. If that's a good ball, that's a touchdown. 1st and goal. The Giants are this close to tying the game. Here we go. Wilson. He's going to get sacked. The Jets. Quentin Williams, that might have done it. 10 seconds to go. The Giants have to get one playoff or their chances to win the tournament are over. And they're not going to do it. The Giants are going to fall to the Jets. And Justin Fields survives. All right, so that's the first team out. Who will play next? Gonna get our first look at 99 overall Justin Jefferson in the Minnesota Vikings. And they're attacking to the northeast, which means Minnesota is, if you hit the border, you follow it along, they're gonna take on the Detroit Lions. So we get an NFC North matchup and a rivalry here in game 2. And this game was never close. The Lions defend home field and take down the Vikings. With that win, Detroit knocks out a division rival, and they have the most land on the map. The Lions looking like a true contender. Gonna get our first look at Anthony Richardson in Madden 26, and they're gonna be attacking to the northeast, which means they're gonna take on the Cleveland Browns. Here we go, Colts up by 8. The Browns hoping for a miracle. Why are the Colts passing this ball? They just want to add insult to injury. Browns call their final timeout. If they can get the ball back, they have an outside chance, but really, this is probably it for the Browns. Heading out west for the first time to see the Raiders. And because they're going pretty much directly east, they're just going to take over Utah and gain land. So as you can see, they have a lot more land, which is good because you want to have the most land at the end of the video, but you're also a bigger target. I'm surprised we're seeing the Jets this early twice. They are going to be on the offensive this time, so it's going to be a little different for them. And because they're going north-northeast, they're going to take on Buffalo in a division rivalry. Here we go. The Jets down by 4. They're about to get the ball back. 2 timeouts, just under 2 minutes to go. The Jets, a touchdown wins them the game, and that's a terrible punt. They're going to start on the 20. Here we go. What are the Jets going to do here? Justin Fields going to sling it. I do have time to take checkdowns, so let's see what they do. Here we go, Fields. They're going to hand it off, and they're going to go nowhere. Here we go, 3rd and 4. Empty backfield for Justin Fields. Gonna sling it. Oh, what a great throw. I thought that was going to hit the defender's back. Almost at midfield. They're still in this. Fields, empty backfield. Going to let it rip. He's just going to hit his... And Breece Hall takes it for 8. Here we go. Justin Fields just going to sling it across the middle. The Bills are giving them way too much room. They're going to call another timeout. They're out of timeouts. 45 seconds to go, but they're almost inside the red zone already. Motion. Garrett Wilson out. Batted at the line of scrimmage. Bad play by the Jets offense. X Factor activated on the Bills defense. Can they stop the Jets? Slings it. They're just going to get a couple yards. 3rd and 3. 35 to go. Here we go. Fields. They're going to get the first. 10 seconds to go. They're at the 6. I don't know if they get another playoff. And they're not going to do it. The Bills are going to defend home field. The Jets drove all the way down inside the 5, but couldn't finish the deal. Next up, we're going to see San Francisco. And they're going to be attacking to the southeast, which means they're going to take on the LA Rams in a battle of California. Niners down by 7. 2nd and 12. They have the ball. Just under a minute to go. Purdy slings it across the middle. They're not going to get the first down. Timeout, San Francisco. Here we go. Going to motion McCaffrey out. Going to sling it across the middle. Jawan Jennings is going to get the first down, but I don't know if they have the time to really dick around. They're out of timeouts now. Here we go. Just past midfield. Just going to dump it off. They're out of timeouts. I don't understand why they're doing this. They have to get out of bounds. Here we go. McCaffrey runs out of the backfield. That's, oh my God. How was that not picked off? Oh my God. Here we go. Just outside the red zone. 15 seconds to go. Niners got to take some shots to the end zone. They're going to get the first, but I don't think the clock stops. It doesn't. What are the Niners doing? They're going to lose. And just like that, the Rams survive in the battle for California and advance. Next up, we're going to get our first look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This area was going pretty much directly west. However, directly west of Tampa is nothing. It's the ocean. So because the arrow is going slightly more south than north, they're going to take on the Dolphins in a battle for Florida. And this one was never close. Tampa Bay mauled Miami 17-3 to win the first battle of Florida. First team to lock their spot in the top 25 could be the Saints. They're going to the southeast. But because of that, they're actually just going to take over more land. But I guess it doesn't matter because we're going to see the Saints landed on 2 times in a row. And this time they're going to the north, but that doesn't mean anything. They're just going to take over Arkansas. We almost landed on the Saints again. This time we're going to take on and see who Green Bay plays. They're going pretty much directly south, which means they're going to take on the Bears. This is going to be a great game. Here we go. Bears, tie game. And they're not going to... Oh, they're going to fumble! Oh, my God! They might have had an outside shot at a field goal. DeAndre Swift just got rocked by Javon Bullard. Oh, my God. If 62 had gotten it, that's a touchdown the other way. Here we go. What are the Packers going to do on the other side of the 50? They're going to hand it off, and they're going to go nowhere. Oh, wow. The fact that he even got a yard on that play, let alone 2, is crazy. Great job by Josh Jacobs. Here we go. Jordan Love. He's going to take off. He's going to complete it down the sideline. What a play by Jordan Love. Here we go. They're going to hand it off. And Josh Jacobs is going to run all the way inside the 25. Timeout, Chicago. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. I think the Packers are just going to be in run mode, just trying to make an easier field goal for themselves because I don't think the Bears can do anything at this point. 2nd and 12. They're actually going to throw this ball, and they're going to get across the middle. Damn. Timeout, Chicago. I think that's their final one. Here we go, and they're going to hand this off. And that is probably going to be the final play that isn't the game-winning field goal. Oh, injury timeout. Tremaine Edmonds, faked an injury. Smart man. Here we go. Handoff, fake, little read option. Jordan Love going to get popped 18 seconds to go. This next play will be the final play of regulation. Green Bay, a chance to win and break the Bears' hearts and mine. Oh, my God, this would be the most Bears way to lose a game. And that'll do it. Oh, my God, man. Get the hell out of here. The Bears fall to the Packers and are eliminated. So this is what the map looks like at the top 25. Obviously, LA, New Orleans, Green Bay, Detroit have a decent amount of land. We still got a lot of teams and a lot of games to go, boys. Next up, we get our first look at 99 overall Jamar Chase in the Cincinnati Bengals. And I was wrong. Because they're attacking to the southwest, they're actually just going to take over the state of Kentucky. We get another look at the Colts. And this area was just going west enough, which means the Colts are going to take on the Packers. And the winner of this game easily is going to have the most land on the map. Colts have the ball down by 3. 6-3, a low-scoring game. Richardson going to scramble and throw across the middle. Oh, my goodness, it's a foot race. He's going to lose it, but they're inside the 30. Here we go. Richardson going to sling it, and it's, oh, my, that should have been picked off. That would have been the game. Oh, my goodness. Green Bay a chance to seal it, and they blow it. Here we go. Can Anthony Richardson win this game, or are we going to go to overtime for the first time? Richardson's going to take off. He's going to get inside the red zone. Oh, my goodness. Anthony Richardson, what a run by the quarterback. Do they run this ball? They still have 2 timeouts. They're going to fake the handoff. Richardson's going to take off. He's going to score. Richardson walks in. The Packers have 50 seconds to win the game. Here we go. What do the Packers have in store? Can they complete another comeback? Let's find out. Love sits back. Slings it across the middle. Going to get the first down. Green Bay calls their first timeout. Here we go. Love steps back. Just going to keep taking his checkdowns. They're down to 40 seconds to go. They really need to take shots down the field. 30 seconds to go. The Packers aren't even at midfield, and they need a touchdown. And they're not even going to get a first down here. They're going to call their second timeout. Matt LaFleur, their final timeout. The Packers have to get down the field. Here we go, 4th and 1. If they don't get this, the Colts win. They're going to hand it off. He's going to get met in the backfield. The Colts are going to come into Lambeau and take down the Packers. And just like that, the Colts now own the most land in the entire map. Next up, we get our first look at the number 1 pick and the Tennessee Titans. It'll be interesting to see how Cam Ward does. And because they're going to the northeast, they're going to take on the Bengals. Going to be an interesting matchup. And the Bengals absolutely truck the Titans. This is going to be a wagon of a team in Cincinnati. Next up, we get our first look at the Chiefs. See if they can win this tournament because they didn't win the Super Bowl last year. They're going directly west, and unbeknownst to some people, Kansas City is actually located in Missouri, so Kansas City is going to take on all of the land in the state of Kansas. Next up, we're going to get our first look at the Falcons, and we're actually not going to see them. They're just going to take over some land. We're running out of room to gather land, except up in this northwest spot. Next up, we finally might get to see the Raiders, and because they're going pretty much directly east, they're going to take on the Broncos in a division rivalry. Here we go. The Broncos have the ball down by 7, almost at midfield. Let's see what Bo Nix can do. Bo Nix, sling it. What can Bo do for you? He can do that. That was a great first play. Here we go. 1st and 10 empty backfield for the Broncos. They're already at the 40. 4-man rush. Going to sling it downfield, and that's going to be held on. They're almost in the red zone. Here we go. Nix. Gonna step up, and he's not gonna take off. He's gonna throw it. They're gonna get a couple yards there. Under a minute, Nick slings it across the middle, and we're inside the 5. Timeout, Denver. Cortland Sutton with a great grab. Here we go. It's gonna be a big blitz. They're not gonna get there. Oh my God, if he just cut back, he was in. 2nd and goal, 50 seconds to go. What does Nix? What's he going to do? He's going to sling it, and they're going to tie it. Oh, my God. Can the Raiders respond? What can the Raiders do here? 1st and 10. Geno Smith just going to take his check down. Going to call a time. They're not going to call a timeout. Are they out of timeouts? Why are they not calling a timeout here? What are they doing? The Raiders are choking. We're probably going to go to overtime. Here we go. Smith slings it. Caught. Oh, my God. They're going to call a timeout with 2 seconds to go. Are they going to be able to make a 56-yard field goal to win the game? They're going to go for it. Can they drill a 56-yard field goal? And it's good! The Raiders come into Denver and take down the Broncos. And the Raiders easily have the most land on the map. Kind of shocking, I'll be honest. I did not expect the Raiders to play this well. Next up, we get our first look at 99 overall Lamar Jackson as he takes on the Washington Commanders to the southwest. And this game was never close as Baltimore washed Washington out and survives and takes on a big test. They're going to get a lot of land for this. Here we go. The winner of this game will lock their spot in the top 20. And we're going to see the Raiders again. There is a chance the Raiders just take land, but we might see the Raiders for a 3rd time. The Raiders are going to go to the southeast, which means they're going to take on the Cardinals. Here we go. The Cardinals down by 3. What can Kyler Murray cook up? Threw a nice pass outside there. Here we go. Murray in the backfield. Probably just going to, I thought he was going to go outside to Trey McBride. A lot of these guys are just taking these 5 to 10 yard checkdowns and not really getting anything down the field, which is fine, but you're out of timeouts and you're down. Kyler Murray, again, just going to take his check down, get out of bounds, but only got 2 yards. They need to go, another 30 yards. Here we go. What do the Cardinals have in store? Kyler Murray drops back. Again, oh my God, we might as well start calling this guy check down Kyler. Holy hell. 13 seconds to go. Cardinals at just about midfield. Honestly, if they can get this to the 40, they have an outside shot. They're going to take a shot down the field. It's almost picked off. Oh my goodness. That would have sealed it. The Cardinals, the door's still open, but you don't know how much longer. There's only 10 seconds to go. This has to be a completion, and it has to be out of bounds. Great job there, 45. This is a 62-yard field goal. I think you have to try to get out of bounds quickly with a quick out right here. Here we go. I don't know if they're going to do it. I think they're lined up in Hail Mary. We'll see really quickly based on the routes. I think this is Hail Mary. I think they're going to take one throw to the end zone. They are. Murray unloads. Flag. Is that PI? Oh my God. It was pass interference to the end zone. 1st and goal on the 1. The Cardinals have life. Oh my goodness. If they make this, we're headed to overtime. Oh my God. What a gaffe by the Raiders. And Geno Smith is going to find a receiver, and the Raiders take a 7-point lead. The Cardinals have to answer back, or their season and their spot in the Imperialism is over. Brock Bowers on a corner route was wide open, and the Cardinals, oh my goodness, look at that little gritty. Kyler Murray steps back. The Cardinals have to answer, slings it, picked off. Lonnie Johnson seals it, and the Raiders are going to take over Arizona. And the Raiders continue to amass land. They're looking like a real threat. They clinch their spot in the top 20. Let's see who will be the first team eliminated in the top 20. Will it be Tampa? And it actually doesn't matter where the arrow spins. They have to take on Jacksonville. The winner of this will control all of Florida and will be the king of Florida. 1st and 15. The Buccaneers down by 7. They have the ball driving. Can Baker Mayfield lead a big comeback? What a throw by Baker to, oh, he dropped it. Mike Evans dropped it. That would have been a great catch for Mike Evans. Baker across the middle. That's another great throw. And that's, I think, 3rd and inches. Timeout. Yep. 3rd and inches. I wonder if the Buccaneers come out here and they just try to run the ball to get the first down. Looks like it. They're in a heavy personnel set. Still have 3 out there. Yeah, they're definitely running the ball. Great job by the Buccaneers to get that first down. They're already almost inside the 40. Here we go. 2nd and inches. Baker leading the Bucs. Just over a minute to go. What will they have in store here? I think they're going to run this ball again just to try to get the first down. Otten in motion. They do. They're going to give it to Bucky Irving, and they're going to go absolutely nowhere. Bucky Irving, the fact that he even almost got back. Loss of 5 yards. I think that's Travis Hunter. I completely forgot Travis Hunter was on the Jaguars. Here we go. Mayfield slings it. Gets the first. Otten almost inside the red zone. Timeout. Buccaneers. 1st and 10. Just outside the red zone. Baker Mayfield, they need a touchdown. They have no timeouts left. Can't afford to take a sack. Almost did there. What a great play. Got to stay on your feet. Get a couple extra yards. 2nd and 3. They have to move. Just under 30 to go. What do the Buccaneers have in store? Mayfield steps back. 4-man rush. Takes it off. Slings it. Hits Bucky Irving in the back of the head. Oh, my God. Here we go. 3rd and 3. Under 20 to go. Mayfield slings it. This time his check down is going to catch the ball. But they're not going to get another playoff as the Jacksonville Jaguars survive. And they now control all of Florida. No rest for the weary. The Jaguars this time are going to be on the offensive. And it doesn't matter because Jacksonville is actually landlocked by the Atlanta Falcons. So we're going to see Jacksonville head to Atlanta. Here we go. Jaguars, 1st and 15. They have the lead. They're up by 2. If they can just run out the clock, they're going to win the game. Great first play. Timeout Atlanta. Here we go. 2nd and 6. Atlanta needs to get a stop here. Great rushes off the edge. I think that was James Pierce. That was a great job from the edge rush. This is it. If Jacksonville converts, Lawrence slings it. What a grab! Travis Hunter just clinched it for Jacksonville. Wow! That was an incredible ending. Who will we see next? Will we finally see the Chargers? Nope. I think it's going to land on the Rams again. Rams are going to be going to the southeast, which means they're going to take on the Chargers. Should be a good game, and the winner of this controls the entire state of California. Here we go. Herbert slings it across the middle, and they drop it. The Chargers down by 4. They need a touchdown to win this game. Here we go. 4th and 16. This is not the game, but pretty damn close. Gonna step back. Herbert. 4th and 16, gonna step up. No one's open. He finally unloads. He's gonna get it across the first down marker. Timeout Chargers. A new set of downs. The Chargers, they have life. Herbert steps back. Nobody's open. He's gonna sling it there and get the first down. Another timeout for Chargers. Here we go. Gonna fake the handoff. Go read option outside. Herbert. They're not gonna call it. 1:10 to go. 2nd and 9. They need 31 yards. Here we go. Herbert steps back, empty backfield. Just going to and that's not going to get caught. 3rd and 9. The Rams defense is holding pretty strong. Here we go. Herbert, 3-man rush. They're sitting all the way back in coverage, and that's not a good idea. They call their final timeout, but they're inside the red zone. Here we go. Another set of first downs. No timeouts, though. Unloads. Almost picked off. Oh, my goodness. Witherspoon almost ended the game. It looks like the Chargers, nope, they're not in a run. They're in a heavy personnel set, though. Tight end across the middle. First down, under 40 to go. Here we go. 20 seconds to go. Just going to take the other check down. He's not going to get there. So close. 2nd and goal at the 2. Will the Chargers get another playoff? They will not. The Rams survive and are now the kings of California. Next up, we have Seattle. However, Seattle is completely not surrounded by anybody, so all they're going to do is grab the land. This is pretty much directly west, but it's more north than west, so we're going to have them take Idaho. Next up, we have Kansas City, and the arrow is actually going to the southeast, which means they're going to take on the Bengals. This should be a big game. The Chiefs tie game, 30 seconds to go. They are already in field goal range. The Bengals need a stop, and they need it now. Here we go. Mahomes probably just hands this off if he's smart. Oh, they're going to throw it. Mahomes slings it. Almost caught in the end zone. Here we go, Mahomes. He's going to take off. He's going to take the hit. What are the Chiefs doing? They're going to give the Bengals the ball back. Butker with a chance to take the lead. A 44-yard field goal is good. The Bengals need a field goal to tie. A touchdown wins it. Here we go. What can Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and the rest of this Bengals offense come up with? Burrow slings it. They're just going to take their first down. 2nd and 1, excuse me. But they have time. They have 1:30 to go. They still have a timeout left. Almost at midfield. I wonder if they... Nope, they do not hand this ball off. They're just going to sling it out. Gesicki, another catch, and they call their final timeout. Here we go. Motion Gesicki across. Burrow unloads, and he drops it. 2nd and 10, just over a minute to go. Burrow empty backfield. Unloads down the sideline. Chase, almost inside the red zone. They only need a field goal. They're going to get inside the red zone and then some. I wonder if the Bengals are playing for the win. 11 seconds to go. The Bengals... I think the Bengals are going to lose because they're not going to get the field goal off. And they do. Oh my God, the Chiefs survive on a mental error by the Bengals. And just like that, the Chiefs have the most land on the map. The AFC West is looking great. We're officially at the halfway point. You just saw the map at the halfway point. Who will be the first team eliminated at the halfway point? Will it be Baltimore? They're going to go directly south, which means Baltimore's going to take on Carolina. The Panthers, 4th and inches, are going to kick a field goal. If they make this, they're up by 6. Kick is up, and it's good. The Ravens, down by 6, need a touchdown to win this game. Here we go. What does Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry have in store for us? Jackson steps back, slings it, picked off! The game is over! The Panthers just upset the Ravens! We're down to the top 15, and we're finally going to see a team from Texas in the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to go to the southeast, which means we're going to see Dallas take on Houston in a battle of Texas. The winner will be the last team standing in Texas. Cowboys have the ball down by 7, 2 minutes to go. Inside the red zone, Dak Prescott's going to fake the handoff. Read option goes nowhere. Will Anderson with a huge sack. 2nd and 13, Prescott slings it. Is he going to get by him? He's not. Ferguson doesn't have the speed. Timeout, Dallas. Here we go. Prescott, 3rd and 4. Slings it. Almost picked off. It all comes down to one play. Here we go. Prescott steps back. 4-man rush. Prescott almost took off. Slings it. Caught. Wow. Jake Ferguson, the tight end. Look at that picture. Look at the dance. Oh, my goodness. CJ Stroud fakes the handoff. Oh, my God, a bomb. Into triple coverage. What was that throw? Here we go. Stroud just going to take his check down this time. Not going to go anywhere. They're not going to call a timeout. 3rd and 8. 45 seconds to go. What does Houston have in store? Stroud steps back. He just takes the check down, and they're not good. Are they going to get it? Did they get it? I don't know. They did. Here we go. Stroud just going to take his check down. They still have 2 timeouts, and they're going to get a first down. They're going to call their second one there. Stroud, they need to get something downfield. They're across the 50, and they're going to call their final timeout. I think this game might be headed to overtime, barring a collapse. Here we go. Stroud across the middle. They're at the 33. They have 23 seconds to go. If they line up in field goal, I think they have the win. But if they try to call another play, I think this game is over. They're going to try to call another play. 6 seconds to go. It's either the end zone or overtime. Stroud. What are they doing? We are going to overtime. Here comes Houston. A chance to take the lead. A 56-yard field goal gives Houston the lead. Dallas has to at least get a field goal or they will lose. Dallas, a chance to tie it. I don't know what's going to happen if they make this field goal because there is ties in the NFL, so maybe there's a tie in Imperialism? And it's good. Dallas ties it. Only 15 seconds to go in overtime. Does that mean we're about to have a tie? And we have a brand new overtime. We are not going to tie this game. Houston still has the ball. Let's see what they do. Here we go. The Texans have a chance to kick a field goal. And there's a flag on Dallas. I don't think it's going to matter. Houston declines, and they're going to win in double overtime. The longest game of the video. And now, Houston Texans control all of Texas. We finally landed on the Patriots. But because this is going to the Northeast, the Patriots are just going to take over some more land in the upper Northeast. Back out west, we land on the Rams. And they're going to be going directly to the east, which means the Rams are going to take on the Raiders. The winner of this will easily have the most amount of land on the map. And the Rams come into Vegas and eviscerate the Raiders 28-14. So the Rams, you'll see in a second, the Rams, now they have easily the most amount of land on the map. We still haven't seen the reigning Super Bowl champs in the Eagles or the Steelers, and we still haven't seen the Saints, the Patriots, or the Seahawks play, even though they've been landed on. Next up, we get to see the Colts again, and because they're going to the Southwest, they're going to be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The winner of this is going to have a lot of land. And the Colts are going to fall to the Chiefs. They put up a valiant effort, but the Chiefs are able to hold on and take down the Colts. Here we go. Who will be next? Will we actually see the Patriots, or are they just going to get some more land? They're going to the Northeast, which means they're just going to take over Maine. Next up, we get to see Jacksonville again, and they're going to be going to the north, a little bit to the west, but that's going to pit them against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, because they have so much land, are a common target, and they're in the middle of the map, but they're going to get all of Jacksonville if they manage to win this. And that is a lot of land. And this one was never much of a contest. The Chiefs crushed the Jaguars, and now they own the most amount of land on the entire map. Whoever wins this will lock their spot into the top 10. And we're finally going to get to see the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they're going to the north, a little bit to the east, which means they're going to take on the Buffalo Bills. Another game, this time the Steelers don't even score a point. They made it almost to the top 10 just by pure luck. And really, we were shown they didn't belong here. We're down to the top 10. This is what the map looks like. Obviously, Kansas City, the Rams, have a lot of land. Detroit, we haven't seen them since the very beginning, and they have a lot of land as well. The Super Bowl champs haven't even been landed on. We haven't seen the Seahawks yet either, or the Saints. They've just been accumulating land, or the Patriots. So we still have a lot of teams we have yet to see. Who will be the first team eliminated in the top 10? Let's find out. It's either going to be the Saints, or it's going to be the team to the north, which is, I believe, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have been landed on so many times, but if you're going to get landed on, it's better than being attacking. This game was never close. The Chiefs stomped on the Saints 31-7. Another team that made the top 10, but really didn't deserve to be here. We almost saw the Chiefs in back-to-back games, but this time we're going to see the Texans. And they're actually just going to grab land. So they're going to take over New Mexico. Maybe we'll see Buffalo. There's not much land up in the Northeast that they can really go. And they're going to go to the Northwest, which means if you go like this, if you follow it this way, the Buffalo Bills are going to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a game we've seen in numerous playoffs, and it is always a good one. And in a shocking game, the Bills come into Arrowhead and crushed the Chiefs. They blanked them 31-0. Taking a look at the map, the Bills easily have the most amount of land on the map, but anything can change in just one game. No rest for the weary. The Bills are back on the offensive. But because this is going to the Southwest, they're actually just going to take over Oklahoma. Again, we're really running out of land to grab. Next up, we have the Seahawks, but it doesn't really matter because the Seahawks aren't connected to anybody, so they're either going to grab Oregon or they're going to grab Montana. And because of the arrow, they're actually going to go south and take over Oregon. We finally land on the defending Super Bowl champs. They made it to the final 8 without getting landed on once. No rest for the weary. They're attacking to the west, which means they're going to attack Buffalo. Here we go. Eagles have the ball down by 5. They need a touchdown. Hurts just going to take his check down. Get the first down. Here we go. Hurts. Just going to keep taking his check down. They do have one timeout left. Not anymore, they don't. 2nd and 6. Hurts. Again, just going to take Goddard across the middle. Almost in the red zone, but they have to start taking some shots. Hurts. Just going to continue to take his check down. There's only 25 seconds to go, and the clock is still ticking. This is the final play of the game. Hurts. Slings it. Gonna get down. They're not going to get in. Maxwell Hairston, the rookie, takes down A.J. Brown, and the Bills take down the reigning Super Bowl champs. Landing on the Patriots, there's still a chance we do not see this team play. And that chance is realized. This is going to the Northwest. That's going to take over the last bit of land to the north of New England. We landed on the Texans, who are going to the Southeast, which means they're going to take on the Buffalo Bills between two powerhouse teams. The Bills about to kick a field goal to go up by 3. The Texans have 1:50 to go. And no way! The Texans just roughed the kicker. Oh my goodness, the Bills have a chance to milk the clock. The Bills, James Cook, they're just going to force the Texans to call timeouts. Josh Allen slings it to the check down. The Bills take a touchdown lead. Here comes the Texans. Stroud is just going to take off. He's going to get popped though. Oh my God. Stroud is about to get pressured. He slings it. A rocket. What a grab. Here we go. CJ Stroud steps back, slings it across the middle. The Texans are in the red zone. Here comes the Texans. Stroud Gonna take his check down. Gonna take his check down all the way inside the 5. They call their final timeout. Here we go. Empty backfield for CJ Stroud. 30 seconds to go. Can't take a sack, and he won't. Joe Mixon out of the backfield. The Texans tie it. I'm not sure if the call is going to stand, but James Cook just fumbled the ball, and the Texans recovered it. They're a field goal away from winning and knocking out Buffalo, and they're going to overturn the call. Buffalo still has a chance. Buffalo had to punt the ball away. Houston's defense was dominant. If they get even a field goal, they knock out Buffalo. And unfortunately for the Texans, they couldn't do anything either. So now the next team to score wins. Here we go. I haven't really said much in overtime because nothing has really happened. Been a lot of defense and a lot of punts. This is for the game's blocked. Houston picks it up. Oh my God, they blocked the field goal. Houston's going to run it back, and the Texans are going to take down the Bills. Wow! And just as I said nothing was happening, the Texans, with the play of the video, now have the most land on the entire map. They're down to 6 teams. Who will be the team to lock their spot into the top 5? Will it be the Patriots finally, or will they sneak out of another game? The Patriots do sneak out of another game. This is the thing about Imperialism. A lot of it is just the fact that you're in certain places and you have certain advantages just based on your geography. The Patriots are one of those teams. The Panthers also still have some land around them. And this is a team, they're going to the south, or excuse me, the northeast, but it is a little more north than east. So they're going to take over Delaware and avoid playing a game on the road. At this point, you don't want to play on the road. It is very hard to win on the road at this point. But the Panthers can't avoid the wheel twice. They're going directly north and directly north. Actually, the Panthers are going to take over West Virginia. They do avoid the wheel twice. But now there is only one spot left in the entire map that isn't in this little conglomerate, and it is South Carolina. Are we going to get the Panthers 3 times in a row? The wheel really wants us to play with the Panthers. Will they avoid playing 3 games in a row? They will not. Yes, they will. Oh my God, I'm kidding. The wheel wants them to play. They say, no, sir. Another team that maybe will not play either, Seattle, they have the most land around them that isn't claimed. This one's going to the northwest, but it's more north than west, which means they're just going to take over Montana. At this point, we might as well just do the spins to take the land so we can get them out of the way. That's 4 wheel spins in a row with no land, or no attacks, excuse me. That's the most we've had in a while, but the Texans, I'm pretty sure they are surrounded. I spoke way too soon. They're going directly north, and they're just going to take over Nebraska. 5 straight wheel spins with no attacks, just land grabs. Can we get 6? I think last year I actually got like 10 in a row. It was actually crazy. Patriots going to the southwest, which means they're going to take on the Texans. We finally get some more gameplay. The Texans have the ball. Tie game, 1:20 to go. Can CJ Stroud empty backfield? I'm surprised they're not running this ball. That was almost picked off. Oh my God. Stroud empty backfield. Another bad pass. New England might get the ball back with a couple of timeouts left. Here we go. Stroud sits back in the pocket, slings it across the middle, and they're inside the 5. Timeout New England. As long as they don't turn the ball over, I think the Texans are going to sneak out of this game with a win. Here we go. They're not going to hand it off. Stroud. Okay, they're going to score. Never mind. They're going for 7. Wow, I'm shocked they didn't just try to run that ball in. Here we go. Drake May, 30 seconds to go. Slings it across the middle. They're going to get the first down. New England's going to call their second timeout. Here we go. At the other 40. 1 timeout left. They need a touchdown. May just going to take his check down. Man, that is not the play right now. They call their final timeout. That might be the end for New England. Here we go. 2nd and 5. Slings it across the middle. They're going to get the first down, but they're running out of time. Stephon Diggs is having a spectacular game. Here we go. 3 seconds to go. They might not even get the playoff. They do. It's got to be the end zone. It's not the end zone. It's almost picked off, and the Houston Texans survive and take down the Patriots. We're down to the top 5. This is what the map looks like. The Texans control most of it. We haven't seen Detroit since like the first 2 games of the video. I haven't seen the Rams in a while. I haven't seen the Panthers in a while. They got avoided like 3 times in a row. The Seahawks, we haven't seen them play. They've just been accumulating land. Who will be the first team eliminated from the top 5? Will it be Seattle, or will they just get more land? It won't be Seattle. Seattle is just going to take over North Dakota. Again, Seattle in a very advantageous spot in a video like this. Next up, we got Carolina. There is nowhere for the Panthers to run, and it does not matter where the arrow lands because the Panthers are landlocked by the Texans. So Carolina has to go to Houston to advance. Here we go. This is pretty much it. If the Panthers can get the first down, they can knock out the Texans. They're going to sling it. They're going to get it. Adam Thielen just took out the Texans. We're down to the top 4. Shockingly, the Panthers have the most amount of land on the map. Who will secure their spot in the top 3? Detroit is on the offensive. There is a chance they do not play because there is some land to be grabbed, but it will not be happening. Detroit will be going to the southwest to take on the Carolina Panthers. And they couldn't pull off another upset as the Carolina Panthers get blanked by Detroit. And Detroit, after not seeing them for almost the entire video, they come in and take over the most amount of land on the map. Down to the top 3, who will secure their spot in the championship? Will it be the Rams? And they're going directly east. The Rams against the Lions. The winner takes on the Seahawks in the championship. And the Rams didn't stand a chance. The Lions defend home field and take down LA. Down to the final 2 teams. We still haven't seen Seattle play. Detroit has almost all of the land. Who will host? Seattle is going to be on the road. And they're going to be going to the southwest, which means you're going to follow it down and they're going to go to Detroit. And the winner will win the entire tournament and the entire video. If you made it this far, again, I'm going to give a huge shout out to EA. Thank you so much for allowing me to make a video like this. Make it early on top of it. And if you think Seattle's going to win, make sure to like. And if you think Detroit's going to win, make sure you subscribe. We're here at Ford Field, the home of the 1 seed in the playoffs last year, the Detroit Lions taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Usually I simcast these games. I'm going to do it live with you. That's how we always do the championship. Here we go. No scoring. Seattle gets a field goal. Detroit is driving. Will they score here? No. Seattle holds strong. And it looks like Seattle might go up 10. Nope. Detroit's defense has stopped them from scoring a touchdown twice. I don't know how Seattle, I didn't see it, but they got another field goal. It is 9-0. Detroit is driving. They finally get on the board. Can Seattle respond? They can. They get another field goal. They're going to have to start putting points on the board in the form of a touchdown if they want to beat Detroit. Detroit driving 3rd and 18, and they turned it over. Here comes Seattle. We're going to hop into the game right about now. I thought Seattle was going to have a chance, but it looks like Detroit is going to score here and take a 2-point lead. Seattle needs a field goal to respond. And Detroit is going for 2. If they get this, Seattle would need a touchdown to win and a field goal to tie, and they are going to get it. So a field goal sends the game to overtime instead of winning it for Seattle. Sam Darnold, 15 for 23, 200. The biggest game of his life. He needs to respond right now. Here we go, 2nd and 10. What does Darnold have up his sleeve? Sits back, just going to hit his check down, but there is nobody over there. Oh my goodness, that's a great 17 yards for Seattle. Here we go. What does Seattle have in store? They're at midfield, 1:35 to go. They have 2 timeouts. Darnold steps back. Just going to take his check down, but they're not going to get the first down. That is not a good play. 1:15 to go. 3rd and inches. I wonder if they hand it off just to get the first. Again, they only need a field goal to send this game to overtime. And they're just going to take the check down flat route. Going to get out of bounds, but that's a pretty good play. If you can get out of bounds on something like that, you're okay with it. Darnold steps back, throws it out. They're not going to get out of bounds. Not the best play. Darnold sits back. Going to hit his check down. They're just continuing to check down almost inside the red zone. Darnold steps back. Again, just going to go outside. He's going to get the first and then some. They're starting to move the ball. 30 seconds to go. Here we go. Are they going to run this ball? This is definitely an inside zone formation. They're not. What are they going to do? Darnold. Nothing is open. Going to bust out. He's going to throw it away. Waste of 6 seconds and a down. Darnold steps back, slings it. Going to get the first down, but only 19 seconds to go. They call their final timeout. They're just going to kick their field goal, and they're going to tie it. 17 seconds to go with no timeouts left. They didn't feel comfortable not trying to tie it. So this game is going to overtime. Seattle scores, they win. Darnold inside his own end zone. Just slings it out. Gonna get a couple yards there, but if they can get into field goal range, the game is over. Here we go. Darnold again just takes the check down, gets 3-4 yards, but I lied. They only got a yard there. Darnold in the backfield, 3rd and 5. Unloads down the sideline. If he's got him, he's in stride. They're almost in field goal range. If that was a better throw, that was gone. They're at the 31. They might be in field goal range already. They're going to keep throwing it. Darnold across the middle. They're almost in the red zone. They're going to fake the handoff. Darnold is going to scramble. Is he going to get on the edge? He is. Sam Darnold is going to get inside the 20. Here we go. Darnold slings it. Cup touchdown. And Seattle comes into Detroit and takes down the Lions. And just like that, Seattle is your Madden 26 Imperialism Tournament champions. And just like that, Seattle controls the entire map. We'll even make sure to get that little spot right there we missed. If you enjoyed this, make sure to comment down below. I did not expect Seattle to win. Seattle didn't play a game until the very end and ended up winning. Just goes to show how crazy Imperialism is and how much geography matters. But again, I want to give a huge shout out to EA. I know I've shouted them out a couple times, but EA hooked me up with the early build, some early access to Madden. You're gonna see a couple more videos coming out soon. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see me do next. But more importantly, YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video. Find out if they're right.